Ali Jaloul,
My man.
welcome to the show.
Thanks, Habiba. Thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. So I've known you for a good 10 to 15 years
10 to
now, I'd
15.
say.
Easy,
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Easy, bro.
And I decided first and foremost when I put this podcast together that I really wanted to get you on and have a chat and shed some light on you into who you are, because everyone knows who you are on social media. Jalu Perfumes.
Yes.
The master of perfume.
Not a master yet, but I'll
Well,
take
I mean,
that.
in
I'll
my
take that
eyes,
for
in
now.
my eyes, in many ways, you are a master. I mean,
Thank you, my
I saw
brother.
you posted a video not too long ago where you made, I think it was a chocolate flavored perfume,
The Dubai chocolate.
the Dubai chocolate
That's
flavored
my
perfume.
creation, yeah.
So
It's,
you can't say you're not a master of
it's all
perfume
right,
if
all
you're
right, I'll
putting
take
together
that. I'll
a.
take that, my bro. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Look, everybody knows you as the perfume guy. And my perspective on what I've been seeing on social media is you've been doing really well. You've absolutely smashed it. You've pretty much burst onto the perfume scene and essentially taken over the market from what I can see.
I like to think so too.
Hats off to you, and
Thank
I
my
commend
brother.
you on
Thank
that.
You, Habiba. Thank you.
But I feel like a lot of people don't know the person behind Jalu, Mr. Ali Jaloul.
You know, with me, it's what you see is what you get, kind of.
What you see is what you get. It's as
What you
simple
see
as
is what
that,
you
right?
get. Yeah, absolutely.
So I kind of want to get the viewers to get to know you a little bit better. I
Yep.
want them to know the man behind the perfume. I want them to know the man behind the brand. And I want them to get an insight into what goes on in that brain of yours.
Yeah, that weird
But-
ass ADHD brain of mine.
But I think the best way to kick it off is to get a bit of a backstory on you. Because as I said, I've known you for a very long time. We both grew up in the community. We both grew up in the area.
Remember our cigar sessions?
I do remember
What
our
happened
cigar
to those?
sessions.
You know I was going to bring some here. I'm like, nah.
I've still got a humidor full of cigars, actually.
Start filling it up again.
I think I've still got 300 sticks or something
Are
like
you
that.
serious?
Yeah.
You
still got-
haven't, you haven't stopped
I've
collecting?
still got some boxes from 10 years ago.
Are you on the non-Cubans or the Cubans still?
Still Cubans.
Still Cubans?
Still Cubans.
I've moved to the non-Cubans.
You
now.
have?
Yeah, I like them more.
I don't mind a bit of the Davidoffs, the Dominicans.
Me too.
But
Me
essentially,
too.
I prefer the Cubans.
Oh, of course you do.
But
Typical
yeah,
Kiwi.
like, take us down memory lane, Ali. Take us down memory lane. Like, you were born in Sydney?
Yeah, born in Sydney.
Born and raised in Sydney, and
St. George.
you come from a family of
5.
5. And siblings-wise?
I'm the only boy.
You're the only
but
boy.
I'm not spoiled.
You're not spoiled?
No, I'm not spoiled.
You're not the oldest, are you?
I am the oldest.
You are the oldest.
Yeah.
And you got 2 sisters.
2 sisters. 2 little sisters.
2 little sisters.
You know
So-
them too.
I know your sisters well, yeah. I do know your and you have a beautiful family. I know your mum, your dad. I know your whole
Likewise, my
family. So
brother.
it's a beautiful family. So tell us a bit about your backstory. So tell us a bit about your upbringing. You know, you were born and raised in Sydney. You went to school here.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit
Correct.
about your backstory and kind of where Ali Jaloul's story started.
Man, nothing really interesting in high school days. Started off Kingsgrove High. Stayed there till year 11. Got kicked out. Started tiling. I did that for about 11 years.
You got kicked out?
Yeah, we all got kicked out. Come on, we all got kicked out. Name me one level that didn't get kicked out in school back then.
I think I'm the only one.
No, a lot of us made it through, but I got kicked out.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't focus.
School
I
wasn't
could
for you.
It was not for me. It was not for me. I got into tiling. I loved it for the first 3 weeks. Then the next 11 years, I couldn't stand it. It was a horrible job. But it was good. It took me to appreciate owning a grocery store. I actually loved that at the start. And that's where Jalu started, in the back of that grocery, you know what I mean?
It's quite a story.
It's strange how it all just happened. To me, it feels like a dream. Feels like I was on autopilot in a way.
And it's been how many years now?
Since I started
Since
Jalu.
in the back of your dad's.
Right, it's been I think almost 3 years now.
3 years now.
3 years now in the business. Yeah.
Nice. So let's talk about those early days. So you said you were kicked out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any reason specifically? What
I
was
can't
it?
remember. I
what
think
was
it
it
just-
about school that you just?
I just didn't like it. I didn't like anything. I couldn't focus. I was good at maths though. I was always good at maths. I did like science, but I didn't really stick to that. And I liked gaming. So that kind of effed up my school, my school curriculum. Man, I didn't like school, man.
You gamed a lot during those high school years.
Yeah, I did. I gamed a lot, jigged a lot, did what every other guy was doing. Let's keep it PG.
How did your parents react at the time when you were kicked out of school?
Honestly, when I called my old man, told him I just got kicked out, he had no reaction. He's like, he wasn't surprised. He wasn't in shock. He wasn't even angry. He's like, it's about time. Thought so. And he told me, you don't want to go to school, you got to start work. So probably 3 weeks later, started work with mechanic. I did it for about 2 weeks.
Friend of your dad's?
Didn't like it. Yeah. Actually, no. Kamal down the road.
Oh, good old
I
St.
did
George
about-
Mechanics.
Yeah. Right next to my house. Then I jumped into plumbing, which I hated even more, then into tiling, and that I stuck with for 11 years. That's because I liked it at the start. My brain can't do anything unless I love it. But I liked it for like 3 weeks, and I'm like, I'll stick to it. I'll just stick to this for life.
So was
That's
it like
because I thought it's too late. I was 18 and I had no career. That's how I thought. I'm 18, I've got nothing in my hands. So I was 17 actually. And from then it just took off.
it's crazy how sometimes we hit that age of 17, 18, 19 and we feel like if we don't have a shit together at that age, our life's going to go down the drain.
Yeah, that's how I
and
felt.
we kind of don't
That's
realize just how young we are.
Absolutely.
Because even in your 20s, sometimes you feel like if you don't have your shit together, like life's just gone from you. It's got ahead from you.
Too late, no matter how
It is-
old you are. It's never too late. That's what I learned now.
So you started at the mechanic,
Yeah, started
First,
mechanic for like a week
a week or
2 weeks
so.
from what I remember.
then you've
Jump-
gone into plumbing.
Went into plumbing. Bro, this guy, I worked with this bloke, man. He was a drill sergeant. I'm not going to mention his name, but this guy, like he'd stand over you while you're digging those trenches and screaming like a drill sergeant. And you just dig it faster and faster and faster. And he's just screaming. And your heart's beating because you don't know if you're going to get sacked if you're digging fast or not.
Because you would have been really young then.
Yeah, I was young. I can't remember how old I was. I can't.
By year 11, you would have been about, what, 16?
Yeah, 16.
time?
16.
Yeah.
16.
So having someone standing on top of you while digging trenches probably wouldn't
Yeah, bro.
a bit traumatizing.
It was traumatizing.
What was it about tiling that made you stick it out for 11 years?
Just like you said, I felt like I didn't have my life together, even though I was a kid. I thought it's too late. I got to stick to something, so I just stuck to that for too long. But it was good. I have good memories in tiling, even though I hated it. But I have good memories in it. I was known as a tiler back then. Everyone that knew me was like, "You're Ballat" or "You're Tyler."
I do remember that about you. I do remember Ali Jaloul being known as a tiler.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
back in the day when we used to smoke cigars together.
Yeah,
You were
yes.
still in that industry.
I was in and out. So while I had the
Yeah.
grocery store, I was still doing jobs here and there. That's when I realized like, I'm never touching another tool again. That's it. I'm done with tools.
So 11 years in, you've decided this isn't for me.
Yeah.
A trade life isn't for me. Was it trade life in general that wasn't for you, or that specific trade?
During that era, I slipped down a dark path, as everyone in life goes through. And that's when I had to clean up. And as I cleaned up, I realized I got my shit together again. It was really serious, but I'm just going to sugarcoat it a bit. I realized I don't want to go back to that. That's what got me into that dark route. Yeah, that's when we got the shop.
When you say dark route, what exactly are we talking about here?
Substance abuse.
Substance abuse.
Yeah. So had started with back pain and, started from there.
What age were you when?
Honestly, it's all a blur to me. I actually can't remember. Believe it or not.
So it's
I'm trying to think, but yeah, it's all a big blur to me.
So it started with back pain, and was it painkillers,
Painkillers, of course.
opioids?
Opioids, of course. But thank you, alhamdulillah. Good support system. We got out of it, got the shop, and yeah, that's where Jalu started. 6 years later in that shop, I thought, because I've always loved perfume.
6 years you were under, or
Well, in the shop for about...
no? I mean, in regards to your substance abuse, how long did that kind of last for in that period of your life? 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
And you mentioned the whole thing was a bit of a blur.
Yeah, it is a bit. It was a big blur, Sometimes things are a blur for a good reason. So things I don't want to remember. Things I saw, things I went through. It's a good. Sometimes it's a good thing, honestly.
How did your family react to that? That must have been a tough period
Yeah, that was
in
a
your
tough
life.
period. That was a tough period.
More so for your family than yourself.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Think about it. I was a black sheep back then. And yeah, I've never spoken about this. It's weird. Yeah, like black sheep, not the black sheep anymore. Like from that to this now. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. Like if you told me when I was sitting in a gutter, if someone from the future came down to tell me what life would be like if I just stopped, I wouldn't fucking believe him. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how good life is now. Alhamdulillah. Like thank God for everything. Thank my family, wife, everyone for everything. Just life is completely different now.
I just want to touch on that a little bit because I look at you now and I notice that you have such a great support system around you.
Absolutely.
I look at the way your parents are with you and your siblings and I know that they have your best interests at heart and you can tell that there's a lot of love there for you, irregardless of the situation you went through. But talk to me about how important it was for your family's support to be there during that period.
It is everything. Look, the old man, it was his idea to get that shop to get me out of Thailand.
The shop, you mean the grocery store?
It was his idea to get the shop, to go harvest me on the shop, to get me out of that situation. Because he knew deep down, tiling is what started it all.
The back pain.
The pain, I hated it, hated being there. So he got me out of it, which I'll forever be thankful for. Forever. A debt you can't repay back.
Look, we're all indebted to our parents at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So your dad's approached you and said to you, Ali, I'm thinking about taking over this grocery store.
He actually just did it. He didn't even ask me.
He didn't even speak to you about it.
Me.
So
I
it
was
just kinda
actually
happened.
away on a tiling job in Griffith, from what I remember. I was doing the Steggles factory. I was tiling there. And I copped a phone call. And he goes, we just bought this shop. And I'm like, I looked at my mate Danny then. I'm like, my dad just bought Nobby's shop. He goes, Nobby, Ali Irham Nobby? And I'm like, yeah, Nobby's
Because
shop.
Nobby was a well-known
Yeah, he was good. It was
person
a good
in
shop.
our community.
Really
That shop's been there for a good, 30, 40 years?
More.
It's like an institution in Rockdale.
You know what? The old owners of it, before Nobby, a Greek family used to own it. I think in the 80s, they just came to my shop yesterday. And they told me, we used to own Nobby's before you guys. And I'm like, what the hell? What a small world. It's crazy.
So,
yeah.
So your dad essentially took on Nobby's purely to give you an out.
Absolutely. He called me and told me, we bought it. And I'm like, looked at Daniel like, this is the last tiling job. I'm out. I'm out after this. And it was exciting.
Talk to me about that feeling.
It was the feeling I have now. It's exactly the same. It was good. When I was at it, it was a horrible job up in Steggles. We were cleaning after the worst tilers there. There was like bad tiling and we were fixing after it. And I'm like, this is like, I'm done with this. I am actually done with it. And yeah, no words can explain that feeling. Like imagine someone retires you. It's like the feeling of retirement in a way. It's a horrible job, that's why.
Had you kind of already sought help at that point for your addiction, or was that kind of the avenue to get you out of that?
No, I was out of it by then.
You were out of it by then?
I was out of it.
Yeah.
By then. Long out of it.
But your dad knew that A, it was causing back pain, and B, there was always that possibility that you might fall back into it.
He knew deep down. He knew deep down. He knew how much I hated it. He'd seen me come home dirty and I can't even walk, and he felt bad. I guess he felt bad.
How's it back today?
Much better. Healed.
Much better?
It's the knees that are a bit...
Standing all day will do that to you.
Look, there's that one day of the month, there's one day of the month where you're just tired and it just hurts. But a good night's rest gets rid of it. So everything recovers.
So originally when you took over this grocery store, that's all it was at the time, purely just a grocery store.
Just groceries.
And how was that? Coming from essentially a trade of 11 years to now serving customers face to face.
Yeah, it was very weird. I was good at customer service. I don't know. Straight away I clicked with people, but it was so weird. I just can't explain it. Like, bro, people would see me outside putting prices on things. They're like, what are you doing here? And I remember there was this builder that came in. He thought I quit tiling and worked at a grocery store. And he's like, so disappointed in him. He's like, what are you doing here? He goes, why do you work here for? I'm like, I don't work here. I own the shop. And he's like, he didn't hear those words come out of him. He didn't hear me say, I own the shop. No, it's like, he was just like, what, you left that to come to this, to stack the shelves? I'm like, whatever. He doesn't understand.
I think for a lot of people, though, it was a shock when your family took over Nobby's because everyone knew it as Nobby's for so many years. And
Exactly.
one thing I loved is you never changed the name of the business.
We left the name.
You kept it as Nobby's, almost as a legacy to what he did for the community.
Absolutely, bro. We kept the name, and it's still got the same name. We sold the shop, and it's still there. The name will always be there, bro.
So at what point did you figure out that, hey, I can do something else within this supermarket? I can.
Bro, even that's a bit of a blur, but it started off because I always had a perfume obsession. Bro, when I was a kid, I used to climb, it's going to sound weird. I used to climb those lemon trees. Remember those weird bugs that you see in lemon trees?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
I remember them, I remember them,
I used to smell those. I used to put them in a container and sniff them. And by the way, they smell like lemons. They smell like lemon zest. I think they used to call them stink bugs. I don't know if that's what their real name, but they smell like lemons. I used to just smell random things. My nose is good. I've got a good nose. Look at the size of it. Yeah. So I did have a good nose. I had an obsession for fragrances. And then my curiosity. I'm a curious guy. So I just want to know how everything. I know how ketchup is made. I know how everything's made. And I want to know how perfumes are made. And I'm thinking, maybe I can do that. So I started going on YouTube.
Was this during the lockdown?
No, a bit after the lockdown.
Okay.
A bit after the lockdown. I thought, I can go on YouTube. I saw how they were made. And I started buying the stuff, one ingredient at a time. Then I'd buy 20 ingredients. I'm like, I just want one more ingredient. One more. I was spending all my money on these ingredients. They're expensive. I've still got some till now that I haven't touched.
And at this point, you were just making it for yourself, right?
Just making them for myself. And then one day I came across a video. This is the time. So I can get you the exact year, but I can't say it now. The year Baccarat Rouge was, I think it's when it came out. The perfume Baccarat Rouge was trending. It was like everyone was talking about it. That year, someone on YouTube was doing a DIY. Today we're going to make Baccarat Rouge, blah, blah, blah. And he puts the formula on the screen and he goes, this is where I got the formula from. And you can get formulas for fragrances. So I just tripped out.
The actual formula for Baccarat Rouge?
Actual formula for Baccarat.
Okay.
Puts it up on the screen. He goes, I bought it from here. If you want formula for fragrances, visit this website. And I thought, there's no way. And I looked at the ingredients. There was 23. And I've got those 23 ingredients. I think there was one missing and I went and ordered it. And I put a litre together, 1 kilo together. It turned out exactly the same. And usually, I don't fluke things when I just make them for the first time. But this one, I just hit the nail on the head. And
First go.
Wow.
That's
and
impressive.
At the moment, I was selling fragrances from another brand, from a friend of mine.
You were selling fragrances in the store?
In the store.
For somebody else?
Yeah, from another brand.
Okay. Like so another kind of dupe
another
brand?
Dupe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And as I was doing that, I was practicing perfumery. So I was selling, and everything I made from selling those fragrances, I put back into buying ingredients. I kept flipping fragrances for about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. Then put all that money I made into fragrance ingredients, raw materials, essential oils, all that stuff. And hit the nail on the head. And I said, everyone that came to buy the other brand, I'm like, try my version. What do you think? And people loved it. And then the profit was much better when I made them. So that's where I got really hooked. So I started buying more formulas, more fragrances, started putting everything together. Started off small with ugly ass bottles and got to where I am now. Got bigger and bigger and bigger.
How does one find all these ingredients though? Because surely it can't be that easy.
It's not easy, but when you have the drive, you can find anything, anywhere. There's ingredients I'm not even allowed to have, but I've got them. You know what I mean? Like, when you really want to do something, you're going to do it. You're not going to give up. Well, at least me.
So now you're selling your own fragrances from the back of a convenience store, grocery store?
Now I'm in the back of a grocery store. Everyone's found out about me. Everyone's coming down. Everyone wants to try them. And as I was doing that, I was confident enough to send them out to influencers. Like, if I wouldn't even ask for their permission. I'll just send them out. Whoever does a review, does a review. Thank God, alhamdulillah. Everyone that did a review, it was a positive review. I didn't even ask them. No paid reviews. It was just all natural, all good, all organic. And that worked out a lot. So when people did those reviews, people would come to me even more. Then I started collabing with influencers, and that's when it really, really helped. First I did God Rest His Soul Humdinger. That was my first collab. Ali Jaloul, he was a lovely guy. That got me a lot of business. And then I did Mahmoud Ismail. That's where it really, really, really took off. Then eventually another guy from Instagram came. And from then, what was the first show? Current Affair. Not Current Affair, sorry. Today's Show. Today's Show emailed me, invited me onto the show. And that's where I did my first segment on the news. And from there, Daily Telegraph, Daily Mail.
So you've done these collabs with these social media influencers.
Yes.
It must have been a shock to the system though, because you've gone from being this unknown dupe perfume maker in the back of a grocery store in Rockdale to all of a sudden you're getting this attention on social media. And
yeah, it was a bit intense.
And this is something that you probably weren't used to.
No. It was getting busy before the influencers, but not like this. Like I remember I was building a website before Mahmoud Ismail came to do the collab with me. And I was telling the website people, we got to get this website up in 5 days. He's going to post a video. And in 1 week, they got the website up and running with all my products on. Then Mahmoud posted that video and that website just blew up.
Kind of went viral from that.
Yeah, and that was my first, like, I couldn't handle these orders, and it was like, I don't think I could, it's too much for me. But I got through it. Alhamdulillah, I got through it. For the first few years, I was all alone without any help. I did it all. And yeah, just kept going from there.
So you touched on the fact that A Current Affair, was it? Came to, were they the first?
No, Today's Show was the first.
The Today Show was the first?
Yeah.
Was that in studio? Or
that was in the studio. They invited me onto the studio.
So they saw you on social media and decided to invite you on.
Yeah.
That must have been an incredible feeling.
Oh my God, I was so nervous, bro.
Because you've gone from tiling for 11 years to within 2 years, all of a sudden you're on the Today Show.
2 years. No, I did it for my first 6 years in the shop.
Yeah.
Then to the Today Show.
Okay, so I'm talking about since you started making perfume.
Oh, yes, correct.
So you're in this for 2 years and you're already on the Today Show.
Today Show.
Talk to us about that experience. What was that like?
It was crazy. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Like, I still can't believe what happened, but I can't go back and watch it.
How did that come about? Talk to us. How did that come about? Tell me.
So I think it was an Instagram video that went viral that they seen, and then they sent someone out. From what I remember, they sent someone out to suss it out, but he was undercover in a way.
Like a mystery shopper?
A mystery shopper. And he was so happy with the service. It was a Saturday, so it was packed. He was so happy with the service, with the product. And he went back and told him. And that's when they invited me on. And I thought it was a prank. I'm like, you know what? It's a prank. I'm going to go with it. Because I'm not risking if it's not a prank. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And I didn't want to do. I was flooded with online orders before the show. I went on and I came out of that studio and I saw my website was just buzzing again. And I'm like, oh my God. Thank God. I'm like, I can't handle these orders. Every time it happened, I'm like, I don't think I can handle these orders. But I always got through it. So
what happened after the Today Show? Because I've seen you on a few media outlets.
Yeah. It's, kept doing my thing. Daily Telegraph came through. Daily Mail came through. More influencers. This girl came in. Her name is Safa. She's on TikTok. Shout out to you, Safa, for this. She came in. She had 100 followers.
Okay. And
she came in and asked. She wanted to do a video for her TikTok. She just started her TikTok. And from that, she goes, "Can we do a collab?" I go, "Yes, let's do one. Why not?" She's starting off. Wish her the best. So we do this collab. She goes to pay me at the end. I go, "I don't charge people I collab with." She goes, "I've only got 100 followers." I go, "We all got to start somewhere." That video hit 1.3 1.3 or 1.4 million
Oh wow.
views in like a week.
Wow.
And that went super, like that messed me up. From that video, a current affair, I had to stop working Mondays.
Was that your first like super viral video?
Yeah, I would say it was the first super viral. I've been viral a few times, but not like this. Then because of that, because of Safa's video, that's when Daily Mail did her article, and I think even Telegraph did her article. I think from my timeline's a bit messed up. So from that video, I had to close Mondays because I had to do online orders. So I did them at the back. I told everyone I was doing them from home, but I was in the, still in the back of the shop, all the way in the bottom of the garage. I set up another lab. I'm like, do online orders. I had some help as well. And I told my dad, whoever comes, I'm not here. I can't keep up. And my dad comes in, he calls me. He goes, Ali, come. And I'm like, Dad, I'm not here. He goes, come right now. And I go up and I see a fucking camera crew. And it was a current affair. And honestly, I thought it was an expose at first. I shit myself. And I was going to run. I was going to run the other way. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. And he goes, come back. He goes, this is all for fun. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we filmed that. And we filmed that. And 2 weeks from now, we're going to open my new shop. So
so this was recently. This wasn't that long ago. Because
4 months, 5 months ago.
4 5 months ago, yeah.
And we filmed that segment. And I'm like, when are you posting it? We're like, post that as late as possible because I got to catch up on these orders from that viral video. He goes, oh, you'll post it in about 2 weeks. He posted it 3-4 days later. When he posted that, my website almost shut down. Thank God. Almost shut down. And do you know what I did? I shut my doors the next day because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to handle the influx of people. So I had to shut the doors so I can get these online orders. I can't message 1,000 people. So I'm like, I'm just going to have to do the online. I have to focus on the onlines because we got to move as well. So in that time, we got to finish the onlines and move everything out of here. We're out in 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm lost. I just tapped out for a sec.
What do you think it is about these dupes or perfume that's got everyone in a craze? Because I mean, let's be real. Like perfume's been around since the dawn of time, and we've all worn cologne and had colognes and bought perfumes over the years. But myself personally, I've never seen, up until like yourself, I've never seen people go bananas over perfume. So I kind of want to get your idea. Like, what do you think it is about the dupes?
You know what? It's the industry's booming. I think it's the price of fragrances now. People are getting into niche fragrances, designer. They're all becoming like the average niche fragrance is 500 and up. The designers are 300 and up, 250 and up. It's the price. And if you can offer to the consumer the same product with boosted performance, boosted longevity, why the hell not? That's addictive. Like you're saving a shitload of money for a luxury product. That's actually much more potent, much more better than the original.
So people still feel like they're buying the actual luxury product.
You're getting the same thing. You're practically getting the same thing.
Essentially, when you're wearing it, someone asks you, where'd you get that, or what are you wearing?
Oh,
I'm wearing Tom Ford so and
absolutely. Some people gatekeep, say they're wearing the real thing. Some people go to Jalu.
I actually had a guy ask me about 2 weeks ago, what are you wearing? And I said to him, Jalu.
You better said that.
Jalu. He goes, oh, that smells like, I think it's a dupe of Invictus or something. That one you made me recently. I don't know. I walked into your store and said, make me something nice.
It was Aventus.
Aventus? Oh, there you go.
I'm wearing that now.
I don't even know what it was called. I just said, Ali, I'm going to go next door. Can you just make me something nice? I'll be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I remember.
That's how much trust I had in you.
I remember.
Surely, though, with all these dupes, there must be some legal ramifications.
Look, they're inspired by, so it's a grey area. It's a grey area, as they say. Like,
did you have to do any research before launching to make sure you weren't crossing any lines? Or
not crossing no lines. You can't trademark a formula. First things first. You can't patent a formula. Hungry Jack's got their own Big Mac. If you think about it, because McDonald's has a Big Mac, I can't do a burger joint. I can't make a burger. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Do you have to change the formula slightly?
No.
So you can...
And regardless, even if even if they are to run run it through a GCMS machine, there's going to be
What's a GCMS machine?
Oh, that's I don't know how to print a gas something. It's a machine where you could pump say 10 mils of a fragrance in there, and it breaks down every single molecule that's in that fragrance, and it gives you the ratios of every single molecule. That's how we get the formulas. So the company I buy the formulas from run a fragrance through it, and they break down the molecules and they convert it into a formula. So even if you run mine and the original through one of these machines, there's always going to be slight variations.
Yeah.
And regardless, even if it wasn't, you can't patent, you can't trademark a formula.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you can't trademark.
No,
so essentially, the ingredient list, it's ripe for the taking for anybody.
It's for anyone to take, absolutely.
So how do these designer perfume brands protect themselves then from guys like you?
Actually, don't know. As long as I don't use the name, as long as I don't copy the bottle.
That's not to say what you're doing is wrong.
No.
I think what you're doing is great.
For anyone out there that doesn't like what I'm doing, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care.
I personally, I think what you're doing is great. I mean, you're providing designer fragrances at such a cheap price.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to smell good, and everyone deserves the right to wear a fragrance, a designer style fragrance. So hats off to you,
bro. Thank you, my brother.
Have you ever been approached by any brand saying, "Hey, you got to stop what you're doing"? Any cease and desist, anything at all?
Nothing. Not yet.
Nothing at all.
Not yet. It's gonna That's it, don't get me in trouble now. And if they do, I'm going to blame this podcast.
Let's hope not. So you recently opened up your first flagship store?
Yeah.
A dedicated Jalu store?
First of many, inshallah, bro.
First of many. What was that experience like, moving from the back of a grocery store to now I have to find a location, I have to design a store, I have to fill the store with stock. It's no longer I'm just mixing on the spot. I've got to have stock on hand.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about that experience. Like
it was a nightmare at the start because of the current affair segment, because we were so busy and we were so behind. And the war in Lebanon, I had the grand opening scheduled, but we had too many losses. So we had to just do an opening a few weeks later, and it actually just also gave me more time to fill up the stock, get the shop ready. So we were a bit behind because of the current affair, but it was the biggest blessing I've ever had.
Were you already in the progress of opening a store and designing a store and all that sort of stuff
nearly
before
done.
the current
in the same segment of the current affair? We went from my shop in Rockdale to my flagship store in Beexley. Like, they brought the camera there, showed everyone around. It was nearly done renovations too.
What was the process like looking for the location? Because you're now on the main strip of Beexley, which I think works great for you because everyone in the community knows who you are.
Absolutely.
And seeing that you started in the heart of Rockdale as well, so it was a smart move.
I didn't want to move too far away from Rockdale. First of all, that's why I did it. Because
were you specifically looking for Beexley?
I was looking for somewhere near Rockdale with a car park, and max 10 minutes away from Rockdale, because a lot of people don't have social media that know who I am. And still till now, people are going to the other shop looking for me. And they don't find me there, and the new owner of the store, will tell him he's up in Beexley now. So all they got to do is walk up 5 more minutes. Instead of, imagine coming to Rockdale, but he's in Bankstown. No, he's in Beexley. It's just the next suburb up. So I wanted to be close to it. That's where I started, St. George area. I wanted to keep it here.
And the design process, had you ever gone through anything like that?
No, it was a nightmare. Just picking a colour took us a month, bro. Please, that was a nightmare. But we got through it. The shop looks pretty good.
The shop looks beautiful.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, the shop actually looks beautiful. And you've got a bunch of staff now. And
oh, yeah. And it's not enough. No matter how much stuff we got, we always need more. But thank God, right?
I noticed now that every time I drive past, because I don't live too far away, every time I drive past, it is absolutely chockers. Yeah. Hats off to you. It's absolutely chockers.
Yeah, it's been crazy there. It's been crazy.
It must be a bit of a surreal feeling, though.
You know what? It was chockers beforehand, so I got used to that rush. Now I have people helping me, so it does help. But the online is chockers too. So when there's a queue in the shop, there's a queue online as well. So it's always chaotic. But now it's kind of cruisy. After the new year, January is always from what I know in the shop, 8 years in the shop, or 60, I can't remember. January was always gives you time to breathe, gather yourself, and refresh.
Your whole family kind of works in that store with you now, don't they?
Yeah, everyone's.
Because
Everyone's
you and
in
your
with
dad
me.
sold the mixed business.
Yeah, I got my sisters on. My sister.
It was
my
only
wife's
today.
next
I was
to me.
grabbing a coffee this morning at
Yeah.
Sweet Beirut, and first I saw your first sister walk by.
Yeah,
Then I
yeah.
saw your other sister walk by. Then I saw your dad walk by. Then I saw your mum in the car park. And I was like, oh, wow, the whole
Mum and
family
dad-
is in.
mum
It's a
and dad
family
were-
affair.
Mum and dad were just visiting. My sisters are with me. My wife's with me. My brother-in-law's with me. So it's I'm getting a family, and got my 2 little cousins there too. So it's good. People I trust around me. I need that. I really need that.
Definitely.
Especially for this.
You just mentioned your wife is with you. So she works with you.
Yeah, she's for now. She's doing her own thing, but we need her help. at
How
the moment.
important has her support been through this whole process?
Very, very. You know what? She let me do my thing from day one. She believed in me from day one, and we got through it together. We made it together. It was good.
Would have been a bit scary at the start getting into a new venture and all that
It
sort of stuff. It
was.
would
It
have been
was.
nice to have that
But
support.
I said from day one, this ain't gonna fail. I knew. I'm like, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Sometimes you just know, bro.
Mm.
Sometimes you just know.
You just knew from the start
I
that
did. I'm like, this is just. There's
You
no,
envisioned it,
There's no
essentially.
room. Yeah, there's no room for error. I've already done it. I've already done it.
So in your head, you were already there.
Yeah. Honestly, I really was. It's weird. It's weird.
So you're a father,
Yes. Got 1 baby girl.
one baby girl.
Yeah. 1 little demon.
Talk to me about fatherhood, because I'm a father too.
Best
But
thing
talk
that's
to me
ever
about
happened to me.
fatherhood.
Best thing. It's the best motivator. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
What's it like though for you, seeing that you went through such a dark period in your time, and you had your own father pull you out of that and support you and back you even until this day. So when the time came for you to be a father, that must have been really special
It was.
for you,
It really was. It really
because
was.
you had completely it flipped your life 180.
It did. It did. Having kids can really, really change you for the better. For the better. Especially having a girl.
Mm.
Just wrap you around their little pinky. She's got me on the leash.
Mm.
She still does till now.
Does it give you extra motivation?
It does. It really, really does. It really does. Everything's for them. Who else are we doing it for? It's all for family. It's all for your kids.
When your daughter was born, what were the emotions like?
I'm not really good at talking about emotions, but wild, a bit wild. It was wild.
Did you cry at all?
I don't cry.
You don't cry?
No. What, did you cry?
I remember when my
Did
first
you cry, you little pussy?
no. No, look, for me when Camilla was born, my firstborn, I just had this like wave of emotion
Yeah,
come over me.
It was overwhelming.
I remember holding her for the first time in my hands and looking at her and thinking, holy shit, like we created you, like I'm now responsible for a whole other life, like everything we do moving forward is going to be for you essentially. And however many kids we have after that. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is, for me anyway, I felt like it was an instant switch in my brain.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
like a lot of people, a lot of my friends who had kids prior to me having kids would try and explain what it's like having kids.
You can't explain.
You know what I mean? This is what it's like, and this is the feeling, and this is what I
Yes.
felt, and you nod your head, and you're like, yeah, I understand, I completely understand, but you really don't. You really don't until you've actually had a kid yourself, and you've gone through that whole experience with your wife, and then you're holding your baby for the first time.
Yeah, it's
It kind of hits you like a ton of bricks.
It's really overwhelming.
And for me, I got emotional the first time.
Yeah,
I really did. Yeah, I was.
Sorry for calling you.
No, it's all right. For me, I got emotional. I remember, and it was almost like a switch in my brain that
Yeah.
went from like I'm just a normal guy to all of a sudden I'm a protector, I'm a provider, I'm responsible,
You got it.
and I just that instant motivation.
You know what? You took the words out of my mouth. I couldn't say those words, but you just took the words out of my mouth. Absolutely, bro.
And how's your relationship? How old's your daughter now?
She's almost 5.
5.
Yeah. As I said, she's got me around her pinky. She bosses me around. I just do what she says. I just do what she says. I don't rule with an iron fist. That's for sure. I can't. You know, you've got a daughter. You know.
Really, it's daddy's princess sort of thing, right?
It's all for them.
Mm.
It's all for them.
Any more kids on the way?
Inshallah.
Yeah.
It's in the
Hopefully,
plans. It's in the plans. Absolutely. What about you?
Oh, for us, we've got the 3. So we've got
We've
Camilla, Sophie, Jimmy, and if it was up to my wife, we'd probably have another one already.
I remember I was obsessed with Camilla. I
Yeah.
told you before, and when I first seen her, I went to grab her, and she just started kicking and screaming. I just put her down and walked.
Yeah, look, if it was up to my wife, we would have 4 already or 5. You know,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
know, it's
Hard. It's tough.
it's a bit harder than people make
It's
it out to
tough,
be. You
yeah.
kind of want to provide the best sort of life you can for them. So, you know, turtle pace for now.
Yeah.
I know we're still young.
We're still young. I don't feel young, but we're still young.
So, Jalu is now absolutely pumping. You know,
Yeah.
knock on wood.
Thank
It's
God.
doing really
Thank
well.
God. You know
and
what? I'm very happy it worked out.
What's the goal though? What's the future plan here?
Honestly,
You must,
I've
as
got
you
so
envisioned
many-
where you are
yeah.
now, and you knew you were going to get there.
yeah.
There must be like a
So many plans to the point where it just overwhelms me. I was telling Hams the other day, I'm just like, every time I think about how much I want to do, I just spaz out. I just overstimulate. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, there is. I want to go worldwide, inshallah, one day. If that door ever opens up, I want more stores. I want to be everywhere.
So is the immediate plan to have more stores, or
More
is it
stores
more so
or-
to be known globally as a brand?
More known globally as a brand, yeah.
And do you have any plans on releasing your own line of fragrances that are purely yours, that aren't duped eventually?
I do have my own, but when you start off as a dupe house, I feel like you'll always be a dupe house. So if I was to do my own line of fragrances, it would have to be under a different name, unfortunately.
You think so?
Or I can do something, this by Jalu, or yeah. But people are always curious to try my fragrances, and I will release fragrances of my creation under the Jalu name to keep it at that Jalu price tag, because I'm all about keeping that price tag for the people. I'm all for the people. I don't want to just put it under a different name and sell it for $300. No, that's not me. So yeah, I will release my own creations, even though I do have a lot of requests for my own creations, but the thing is,
I was gonna say you must get bombarded all the time, like with special requests.
My emails are flooded, but it's a good thing to have. It's a good problem to have. But yeah, I will release my own line as well. But it's gonna be under the Jalu name. Keep a healthy price tag. But fragrances to create is different than recreating. Takes time.
Because you kind of have to come up with the combinations and the sense
trial
and
and error and wastage.
But surely you've been playing around with that.
Oh, every day.
You
Don't
must
worry.
have a
We're
few
always
already.
playing with. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I do, and I have released some, but we need more. They're really good. I'm not gonna lie. They actually are really good, and I want the whole world to try them.
Did you bring any with you today?
No, I actually didn't. I should have. I honestly should. I was actually gonna bring us a cigar. Then I realized we're sitting inside, so we'll stink the building up.
So when's the next store coming? What's the plan for the next store?
Honestly, I have no idea. I'm just going with the flow. That's what I've been doing since I've started. I just went with the flow. Close my eyes and just go with the flow, and we'll see where it takes us.
So essentially, you're not limiting yourself to a specific timeline or a specific plan or you're going with the flow as is.
Going with the flow. Always go with the flow. That's what I was doing in my dark days and in my good days. Just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. You never know what the future holds, bro. That's as I said, it's just weird. Life is weird, bro. Honestly.
It's crazy how life can take such a sudden turn, and one minute you're over here, and
Absolutely.
3 years later you're over there, and
It's unbelievable.
look, I commend you for everything you've done. Like I said, I've known you for a good 15 years now, or something
Easy,
along
bro.
those
Easy
lines. And we
15
both
years.
grew up in the community, and you know, I've watched your rise over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I remember when you first started out, I was a bit, what's
A
going
lot of
on?
people
What's
were.
going
So
on
it's-
here? And
yeah,
what's the
yeah,
go
it's-
with dupes and all this sort of stuff? And I was a bit concerned for you. Like, could this be legal, illegal, all that sort of stuff? I wasn't.
It's
But watching your rise over the past couple of years, especially knowing what you went through and those dark times and where you've come from,
yeah.
is truly remarkable. And I take my hat off to you.
Habibi, cuz. Thank you.
And I'm as a friend and as a supporter, I'm extremely proud of who you've become.
I'll never get sick of hearing that, bro. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I have no doubt that in a few years' time, the Jalu brand will be known globally.
Inshallah, bro.
I just want to thank you for coming
Thanks
on today.
thank
I
you, bro.
appreciate
Thanks
your
for
time.
having me. Thanks for believing in me, my brother. I love you, bro. Thank you.